Joplin City Council members will take final action tonight on an ordinance regarding a change in trash service providers for the area, but some residents are very concerned about the potential change. I'm Caitlin Shive. We'll have details coming up.
New Missouri contact tracing guidance might mean patients do the work themselves. And we'll look at changes at local hospitals aimed at protecting expecting mothers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A packed agenda for tonight's Joplin City Council meeting included discussion of trash collection, a proposal to annex a property for a community development district, and historic designation for 3 cemeteries. This is KOAM News at 10. We'll get to all of those, but we begin our coverage tonight with disagreement among some citizens over what company should get the city's trash collection contract. KOAM's Caitlin Shive shows us a comparison of the 2 bids from the companies and why some residents are not happy with the potential switch.
For the past 5 years or so, Republic Trash Services has been the Joplin area provider for curbside trash pickup and recycling.
Periodically, it's necessary for us to review that contract to make sure that we're getting the best deal for our citizens. So through that process, we've had 2 bidders come forward, WCA and Republic.
City Council is now deciding on whether to change providers based off of each company's bids for the spot. WCA comes in with the lower trash service bid of $11.38 as opposed to $11.50 from Republic. Recycling services through Republic would be $10.97. WCA's would be half that at $5.25.
The initial review by the council, there were, I believe, 6 council members that thought WCA might provide a better service than Republic, and so that's the path that initially has appeared for us to move forward.
There are more than 17,500 residential trash pickup customers and more than 1,600 curbside recycling customers.
Each provider has merits and has reason or justification to use their service, and so it's really just more of an analysis to see which one might provide the better service for Joplin.
But customer service is the reason some Joplin residents are not happy with the potential switch to WCA.
Has Republic tarnished their appearance? No. If we go to WCA and our alleys and our streets are full of trash, is that going to help our appearance? Doesn't Joplin deserve the best? We deserve an American company. We deserve to keep those people employed at Republic and keep the service as is. If it's not broken, why fix it?
Mary Price, who runs the Joplin Citizens for Republic Trash Service Facebook page, is addressing council on the ordinance, stating there are multiple negative reviews for WCA's service.
They don't have a track record. They have an F rating on the Better Business Bureau. Republic has an A rating. My other question is if we cut out recycling and you went on trash service alone, 20 cents, you would really give up quality service for 20 cents?
With hopes it will change council's mind on changing their trash service contract.
Republic Services should be granted the contract based on service and service alone.
In Joplin, Caitlin Shive, KOAM News.
The council tonight voted to stay with Republic for trash services on a year-long contract extension. Council tonight passed an ordinance to annex a property near the 32nd Street Place Community Improvement District to include it in the district. Officials say the annexation was necessary in order to make street improvements listed in the redevelopment plan. They also say they are allowed to annex it because the property is blighted because of unsafe or unsanitary conditions. Joplin City Council tonight approved on first reading a proposal to give Osborne, Parkway, and Forest Park cemeteries historic designations. That proposal now moves to a second and third reading. Another proposal before the council would expand the Sunshine Lamp Historic District to include part of the 800 and 900 blocks of Main Street. The city would encourage property owners to improve their facades by paying half the cost, up to $37,500. The council passed this proposal on first reading. This one too now goes to a second and third reading. Missouri health departments have the option of telling residents who test positive for COVID-19 to do their own contact tracing. The state has put out new guidance encouraging local health departments to shift resources to case investigations if they become too overwhelmed with new cases. At that point, they will be able to ask positive cases to contact anyone they've had close contact with and ask them to quarantine. Both Newton and Jasper County say they're still doing all of their contact tracing themselves, but they're keeping the option on the table.
The CARES money that is helping to support contact tracers, that goes away January 1st. And then there's another contract from the state. Those funds will last probably close to the summertime. We will then probably have to turn to the public and have their help once that happens, if there's no funding replacements.
For any health department that makes this shift, the state expects them to go back to normal, usual contact tracing once the numbers in the area are reduced. Expecting mothers are feeling the strain of COVID-19. Both Mercy and Freeman hospitals have strict policies in place to help protect pregnant mothers and their newborns. Currently, mothers are only allowed to have one visitor with them during delivery. Doctors are doing everything they can to protect pregnant women from getting COVID-19 since it can be quite serious for them.
If a pregnant person gets sick with it, they're more likely to wind up with a more severe infection, wind up in the ICU, 1 to 3%, still very low, and maybe, require mechanical ventilation, be intubated.
For mothers concerned about possibly transmitting COVID-19 through breast milk, doctors do still recommend breastfeeding, saying there are so many beneficial vitamins, nutrients, and even antibodies that help boost a baby's immune system. Cute baby right there. Doug Heddy joins us now with our first look at weather. Jacket weather tonight, it seems, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of cold out, and it's going to be another cold night all the way through the morning hours. But today actually turned out to be a pretty good day. We started cold, 27, 55 for a high, so a little bit above where we should be for this time of the year. Clear skies, nothing going on here. In fact, the entire Central Plains, clear skies. We had a weak little wave that rolled off to our east, but if we look out to the west, not much going on. That's our weather, at least over the next couple days, and then we'll start to see some changes in here late this week. Temperatures are dropping back upper 30s to lower 40s. I think most of us will drop to about 30 later on tonight. 40 by 9, 52 by noon. High temp right around 57 during the afternoon hours. So we continue to warm up over the next few days. We're going to look at the entire week here in just a bit.
Doug, thank you. We have some breaking news tonight. The Joplin Fire Department is working a fire at the Olivia Building on 4th Street in downtown Joplin, a beautiful historic building many of us have passed. We have a photographer headed to the scene, and we'll have more information as it becomes available. A man accused in the shooting death of his own grandfather in Jasper County nearly 6 years ago will not contest the charge. 32-year-old Lee Yang took an ALFORD plea to a charge of second-degree murder for the death of 88-year-old Yang Lang. That means he concedes prosecutors have enough evidence for a conviction. Yang gets 20 years in prison. The murder happened at a rural Jasper County home in March of 2015. Witnesses say Yang said he must get the monster out of the house and threatened relatives with a gun. They say he shot his grandfather once in the head. When authorities caught him running away from the home a short time later, he had a pipe containing methamphetamine. Joplin police have released surveillance images from a weekend bank robbery. They say this man, dressed in black, went into the Southwest Missouri Bank at 2530 North Rangeline Road around noon on Saturday. They say he demanded money from employees, then got away running west. A Wyandotte, Oklahoma woman is dead after a crash in Ottawa County this morning. It happened a little before 8 a.m. northeast of Wyandotte on Highway 10. Investigators say 20-year-old Alexis Crawford was driving a car north behind a pickup that prepared to turn. When Crawford swerved to avoid the truck, she hit an SUV head-on. Crawford died at the scene. No one else was seriously hurt. Still ahead, we're going to have the latest on surging COVID-19 cases across the country. Plus, President-elect Biden announces more choices to fill out his cabinet. The number of confirmed coronavirus cases in the United States now stands at nearly 15 million. More than 283,000 people have died so far. Health experts had predicted infections would rise during the holidays. Some believe the situation is about to get much worse even. Elise Preston has more.
The post-Thanksgiving coronavirus surge is shattering infection records across the U.S.
We're going to be in for some significant, I would say, pain and suffering.
Dr. Anthony Fauci believes the pandemic may soon become much worse.
When you look at Thanksgiving, that's a very brief period of time of travel and congregating. When you're talking about Christmas, you go through Christmas and Hanukkah, you go through the week between Christmas and New Year's, and then you have another celebration on New Year's. That extends that vulnerable period by 2 or 3 times what you do in Thanksgiving. That's the reason why the Christmas issue bothers me even more than Thanksgiving.
In some places, hospitals are running out of room to care for the sick. Massachusetts and Rhode Island have reopened field hospitals to handle the influx of new patients. A medical center in Nevada is treating some inside a converted parking garage.
Never in my wildest nightmares would I ever have thought that we would ever see something that would be killing this many people.
Nearly 33 million California residents are now under a stay-at-home order. Some public spaces were virtually deserted on Monday as the state grapples with a soaring hospitalization rate.
Just a few weeks ago, we had shy of 6,000 COVID-19 positive patients in our hospital system, now over 10,000, just like that, 72% increase in just 14 days.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has directed hospitals to increase capacity by 25%.
You can't overwhelm the hospital system. Overwhelming the hospital system means people die on a gurney in a hallway.
The UK is preparing to kick off a mass coronavirus immunization program on Tuesday. An estimated 800,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine were distributed ahead of what some are calling the new V-Day. The FDA is expected to authorize the vaccine for emergency use in the U.S. on Thursday. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Dr. Fauci says a sustained and coordinated public health response at the national level remains the best hope for slowing the spread of the coronavirus in the months to come. We go live now to Joplin, where we told you earlier about a fire that's happening right now at the Olivia building on 4th Street, a historic building that at one point they had tried to transform into apartments. Again, this is the Olivia building on 4th Street. We don't know much information at this time. We don't know how many firefighters have been called out or some possible hot spots that they are trying to battle within that historic building. Again, we have a photographer out at the scene, and we're going to pass along more information as it becomes available to us. President-elect Joe Biden today intends to name his picks for Attorney General and Defense Secretary later this week. President-elect officially today announced members of his health team. They include California Attorney General Xavier Becerra as Mr. Biden's nominee for Health and Human Services Secretary, Dr. Vivek Murthy, a U.S. Surgeon General, and Dr. Rochelle Walensky to lead the Centers for Disease Control. The president-elect also plans to appoint Dr. Anthony Fauci as Chief Medical Advisor on COVID-19. President Trump will host a vaccine summit Tuesday ahead of Thursday's FDA meeting that could give Pfizer's vaccine the green light, the go-ahead ultimately. At the White House, he commended his personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, so far for all his efforts, and he also said he wishes Rudy Giuliani the very best as Giuliani is battling COVID-19 right now. Doug Hetty is up next with his complete forecast, and a bit later on KOAM News at 10, she shined at Carl Junction, and now she's making her mark in Division I basketball. We're going to catch up with Katie Scott in sports.
Well, it turned out to be a pretty good Monday for us today. The weekend shaped up nice as we slowly warmed up. And then today we had sunny skies across the region, which you can see on our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. This is our time lapse for you just outside of Seneca, Missouri. But plenty of sunshine, a few little mid and upper level clouds at times. But in general, a fantastic day across the region. Next few days look pretty calm. We're going to start to warm up a little bit as we go through the week. And we do have a storm system that's going to affect us Friday into Saturday, and then a secondary wave Sunday into Monday. So we're going to keep our eyes on those. Of course, you can always get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog. That is KOAMNewsNow.com. Yesterday, lower 50s. This morning, a cold start down to about 28, and then mid-50s today. And I think we'll keep stacking a few degrees each and every day. Kind of cold. Right now, it's 37 in Yates Center, 41 in Indy, Miami at 32, much of the same at Grand Lake, 35 in Anderson, Nevada at 37, 41 in Chanute. And if we look from our station off toward the east, it's 42. Clear skies, southwest winds at about 5 to 10. Humidity is at 70%. As we go through the overnight hours tonight, we'll drop back near 30 for an overnight low. But clear skies, nothing going on here across really the entire Central Plains. We do have a weak wave that has rolled through. So it's producing clouds off to our east. But besides that, look out to the west. Not much going on. Pretty much clear skies. You can see that little spin just to the south of Los Angeles. And that is our next little wave. It's right off the coast of California, and it's going to slide out. It's not going to make it here for about 4 days, but that will give us some rain chances. And then behind that, some colder air and a stronger storm system will start to push in. But at least over the next couple days, we look okay. We get into this nice big ridge of high pressure. We're looking at Wednesday. Temperatures are going to soar into the 60s, pushing 70 degrees. Here comes this first wave out by Friday. This will give us some rain chances, and it will also cool us down, make it a little snow on the backside. Then a second system slides in behind it late Saturday and into Sunday. We'll have to see if that system can have or get really any moisture. If it can, it will give us some rain and snow chances. So a few things to watch down the road. At least for us tonight, it's fine. It's just going to be cold as we drop back right around 30 degrees for an overnight low. We're going to warm up quickly. We'll have west winds at about 5 to 10 through the 30s, 40s, lower 50s by noon. And I think most of us will top out right around 57 during the afternoon. So tomorrow looks great. So if we move on from tomorrow evening into tomorrow night, still pretty much clear skies. We'll drop back into the 30s again. But look at Wednesday. We shoot into the mid-60s, 4 highs. Even on Thursday, we should do it again. We'll get a few more clouds, but we should go into the mid to upper 60s, 4 highs ahead of that next storm system rolling in on Friday. 57 tomorrow, 68 Wednesday, 67 on Thursday, 57 some rain chances on Friday, lingering into the beginning of the weekend. It is going to be a lot cooler over the weekend, but at least in the next 2 or 3 days, no complaints, especially in early December.
Yeah, quite the warm-up for December. Like Eddie thinks, as always. Still ahead, the Labette County Grizzlies taking on Wichita Collegiate. Going to have highlights next.
Former Carl Junction basketball standout Katie Scott is in her first season at Division I Grand Canyon University. Now, she's only played 3 games, but she's already making a name for herself. Scott's averaging a team-high 20 points through the first 3 games, adding 6 rebounds per game. She's helped GCU go 3-0 to start the year. Now, Scott was an all-state player for Carl Junction, and she's pretty much picked up where she left off in her first year at Grand Canyon.
We've given her the green light from the get-go, and I think for her that's just kind of a comfort factor.
I have been given the green light, which a lot of freshmen don't always get that. So it's kind of been a confidence boost, and it has been an incentive to work harder because I want to prove that I can do everything she says I can.
She's really done a really good job of embracing that role of we need you to score, probably not like a typical freshman. Just pick up where you left off at Carl Junction, and she's done that really well.
Scott and GCU will be back on the floor on Wednesday night, hosting Northern Arizona. Missouri Southern's Carly Turnbull has been named the MIAA Women's Basketball Player of the Week. Turnbull helped the Lions go 2-0 last week, picking up wins over Northeastern State and Rogers State. In those 2 games, Turnbull posted 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. She's averaging 15 points per game on the year. The Lions are 3-3 and will be back on the floor next Thursday, hosting Northwest Missouri State. The Labette County Grizzlies are playing in the T-Bird Classic this week at Circle High School in Towanda. And both the girls and the boys are on the floor tonight. On the boys' side, Grizzlies facing the second-ranked Wichita Collegiate Spartans. A good start. Alex Meister drives through the contact. Back and forth first. Labette down 4. Eli Heston at the buzzer gets the bank to go. They got some momentum. More from Meister here. Second tray of the game. Close to half now. Spartans double up Heston. He sees the open lane. Nice play for the bucket. Labette had a 6-point lead at the break. They could not quite finish this one. Collegiate wins it 51-41. The Labette County girls also matched up with Collegiate this evening. In the second, up 1. Make it 4. Madison Brandon with the 3. Up 5 now. Steal here from Madison Hayward up to Carson Stewart. Easy transition layup. The Collegiate gets it back to 3, but Anna Dean closed the half strong. Put back bucket there for the junior. And just before the break, gets another hoop and the foul. Grizzlies pull away after half. They take this one 52-36. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
This anniversary of the Pearl Harbor attack that put the U.S. in World War II, we recognize a local Army veteran who served in that war. Tech Sergeant Charles Marshall was stationed in Central Europe back in 1945, his hometown, Girard, Kansas. And we are proud to salute Tech Sergeant Charles Marshall, a four-state hero. Okay, we go back live to Joplin now. A historic building is burning tonight. This is a live look at the Olivia building, as it's known, on 4th and Moffett in Joplin. Fire crews tonight trying to get this fire under control. As you can see, the fire appears to be concentrated on the top floor of the Olivia building. That's what appears to us anyway. We don't know how many crews have responded. Again, we are working on getting more information, so be sure to follow us on social media for the very latest. You're going to have a perfect opportunity to donate to the KOM Toy Box Project tomorrow without even leaving your home. We're going to be inviting your phone calls during tomorrow's noon, 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. newscasts. You make a financial donation and we'll use that money to buy toys for area kids in need. Or, if you prefer, you can simply go to our website anytime and click on the Toy Box banner at the top of the screen. You'll see how you can either donate money online or personally deliver a new unwrapped toy at one of our drop-off locations. And of course, we sincerely thank you for doing what you can, especially this year, a challenging time for so many of us. Doug Heddy joining us now for the final look at the forecast. Jacket tonight, but we're going to have a treat later this week, huh?
Yeah, we're going to warm up later on this week, but it is going to be a cold night tonight as we drop back right around 30 degrees. Let's go 57 for us tomorrow, into the 60s by Wednesday and Thursday. Cooling down, rain chances by Friday.
Doug, thank you, and thank you for joining us tonight. See you tomorrow. Have a great night.